So I've been going through my fabric stash recently and I've picked out a bunch of fabrics that I think go together and are going to make the most perfect baby doll, twirly kind of dress. They're all kind of like either pink or blue or yellow, or they have like those kind of colours in. I kind of wanted it all to kind of like match a little bit and have like a very spring summer kind of vibe to it, because I'm literally waiting for it to stop raining here in the UK. But yeah, that's what I'm going to do today, and I'm going to be using my little dress form to draft the bodice bit, which I've never really done before, so hopefully this turns out alright. I'm a little bit nervous, but it's fine. Anyway, I'm gonna get into it now. So I just want to give you guys a bit of a brief explanation on like how I made this dress. It is very brief, I'm very sorry. So for the top, I basically just made like one long rectangle. I wanted to make sure that it was big enough for me to get on and off without having to put like a zipper in it. So it's like a couple inches bigger than like my bust measurement. I used this like pink cotton to make the lining, and then I made the outer shell out of like all the patchwork bits. Then I made some straps off camera, and then I just sandwiched them in between the lining and the outer shell, like with like the right sides together, and then put like the straps in the middle, and then just sewed all the way around the top. So I finished the bodice. It's very cute. Even added straps. And now I'm going to start working on the third tier, not third tier, the first tier of like gathers for like the skirt bit. I already did like a bunch of workings out on like paper to like determine like how long each piece needs to be. So this first ruffle is going to be like 70 inches long, and then it's going to get gathered into the waist. So I'm going to start with that. So for each tier, it's like double the length of the last tier. So the first tier is double the circumference of the top. The second tier is double the length of the first tier, and the third tier is double the length of the second tier. As for the lengths, I just kind of made them all roughly around the same length. The last tier, it was a bit longer because I had to like hem it and stuff, but you could make layers longer if you wanted to. You could make them shorter. It just depends on like how tall you are or how long you want the dress. You could do like a midi version or a maxi version. So I've attached all the little patchwork pieces together for the next tier, but I've run out of thread for tonight, so I ordered some more and it's coming tomorrow, so I'm gonna have to try finish this tomorrow. I'll get like at least this tier done tomorrow. So yeah, see you tomorrow. So last night I was cracking on with my dress, and I was filming it, and like a silly Billy, I formatted the card and all my footage got deleted before I could like copy it over to like my laptop, and I was very upset. But I think after like screaming into a pillow and kind of having a bit of floor time, then I gave the dog a bit of a snuggle too. I felt a little bit better about it, and I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna tell you guys like what I got done. So I finished, I gathered the second tier, and I like attached it to the dress, finished that, made it look nice. And then I started on the final tier of the dress. I attached like a bunch of like different fabrics together. I feel like I've not quite done yet. I feel like I want to add like a little bit more length to it so it gathers like really nice and it's super twirly. But anyway, I'm gonna get on with it. I'm gonna crack on, and enjoy. Each tier is just like patchwork, but you could do this in like entirely out of like one colour, or you could like mix match like the tiers and stuff. It's very flexible and you can kind of do what you want with it. I just wanted to use up all of my fabric scraps and kind of create something very pretty. So I think it's at the length that I want it now, or rather width, because it's gonna get like gathered. It's pretty long. It's very long, actually. I don't know how I'm gonna gather this into that. It's gonna take a while. I might have to do it in like quarters and like gather section at a time. But yeah, I actually need to like even out like all the things, because some of them are like ever so slightly bigger than other ones and stuff. So I'm just going to trim it down, and then I need to press all the seams and zigzag all the seams. But it's worth it. It's going to be worth it. It's going to look so cute. Being smart, and because this tier is so long, I've divided like the sections that I've divided into sections so that when I'm gathering, I've got like there's like 3 sections, so I can gather like each section like a little bit at a time to try and fit it onto the other one, instead of like forever pulling the thread, trying to get it to like go around the whole like big thing. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I've divided the gathering bit, like the gathering thread, into 3 sections so that it makes it a little bit easier. I think that makes sense. Let me know if it doesn't. So for each tier I did 1 long gathering stitch around the top. This is where you put your machine like stitch length to the like longest, the highest number, the longest it'll go, and then you don't backstitch at all. You just do like 1 long stitch, and then you can like pull on the threads to like gather it like in your hands. But just make sure that when you're gathering it, you're making sure it fits nicely to the tier you're like attaching it to. If you don't want to have it like too gathered, you could always just like make the tier like 1.5 times the like width of the previous tier, if that makes sense. So last night I was working on the dress and I attached the final tier. There it is. And then I just like trimmed it down to about the size that I wanted, because it's a little bit long. And then I took it to my ironing board and I like pressed down like the hem all the way around and like pinned it. But I didn't actually sew it because I was like too tired. So I'm gonna sew it today, and then hopefully that's the dress done. Not hopefully, that will be the dress done. So I finished the dress and it's very cute. I love it a lot. It's super twirly and yeah, I keep looking at myself in the mirror because it's super cute. This was like my first time like making a dress without like a pattern really. I'm trying to like do more stuff where I just like make it up myself instead of like using patterns. As much as I love using patterns, it's fun to do it yourself. I think it turned out really well, and I think because I only chose like 3 or 4 like colours and just like stuck with them, it turned out like really well. Like it's very concise and stuff. But anyway, I'm gonna go film like a little montage of me running and twirling in this dress now, and I hope you guys like this video, and I'll see you in the next one.